When we talk about informants, there's really two types. The first is private citizens who happen to pass along information to the police. So if I call the police and basically tip them off that I'm aware that my neighbor is selling cocaine, that would make me an informant. But the second type of informant is somebody who's actually working for the police or at the direction of the police in order to go out and find and generate information on a regular basis. Now, these are often called narcs or snitches. The term that police use is confidential, reliable informant. And the fact is that every day, police use information that they've gathered from informants in order to conduct searches of homes and cars and businesses and bank accounts and computers. The problem is that a lot of these so-called confidential, reliable informants are really not reliable at all. A lot of them are junkies, career criminals, people who are working off their own cases by cooperating with the police, and many times these informants will tell the police whatever they want to hear, often very bogus information. And frankly, sometimes the police outright lie about their informants. Sometimes they'll go to the judge in order to try to get a search warrant, and they'll tell the judge, oh yeah, we've got this confidential informant who has seen the suspect selling heroin on 4 occasions, and the judge will sign the warrant. But the reality is there is no informant at all. The police are just making this up in order to get their warrant. Now, in these situations, we can make a motion in court called a motion to compel disclosure of the identity of the confidential, reliable informant. Basically, a motion to tell us who the informant is. In order to prevail on this motion, we have to show the judge 2 things. First of all, that the informant is a material witness on the issue of our client's guilt or innocence. And secondly, that non-disclosure would potentially deprive our client of a fair trial. If we're successful, and if the judge ultimately orders that the identity of the informant be disclosed, then the judge basically looks to the police and the prosecutor and says, hey, if you want to use the evidence at trial that flows from this informant, then you got to tell the defense who the informant is. And most often, at that point, the prosecutor will just throw in the towel because the police don't want to burn their informant, and a lot of times they don't even have an informant. So very frequently, when the motions are granted, the case is ultimately dismissed, and it can be a great outcome for the client.